long, cold, lonely winter. Baby darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I said, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
Randy Bachman, how are you?
I'm good.
Right on. So, By George, by Bachman, your relationship with, explain the importance of George Harrison to you first before we get into the record.
Well, way back when,
Yeah.
Ed Sullivan, it used to be Elvis and a backup band, so Gene Vincent or Eddie Cochran and a backup band. Suddenly these guys came from England, 3 guys up front singing. And all the bands went, what?
Yeah.
I can sing? The drummer said, what? I can sing Boys and I Want to Be Your Man. I'll be Ringo. And I got the George Harrison song. I was the lead guitar. So I sang these George songs all my life. And it was always my favorite Beatle because I'd wait for a Beatle album and I would come to these mountains, Mount McCartney, Mount Lennon with 30 songs each. That's why I wrote Between Two Mountains for this album. Out comes George and he grows his own mountain of people waiting for that 1 or 2 Harrison songs on these on the Beatles albums. And he was just an amazing guy and he wrote really good songs. And after going to John Lennon's 75th birthday party in Liverpool a couple of years ago, I found out, well, George is 2 years younger. He's turning 75 this year. It's in February, which I call Fabuary. The Beatles played Ed Sullivan in February. They released their first album in February on Parlophone. They signed with Brian Epstein in February. All this stuff happening in February. So I did this album and got with Universal, which is a great label.
Yeah.
It's great in this day and age to actually find a record label that exists and actually does
what they
used to do.
Oh,
it is.
Yeah.
But you sound like such a fan, so was it hard choosing, getting it down to?
I started with 50 songs.
Wow.
And I needed songs that I could sing. I wanted to rearrange them. I just didn't want to do exact things.
Yeah.
I did this before with Burton Cummings. We did a Backman Cummings jukebox where we took jukebox songs we used to play as kids and we copied them.
Yeah.
And when I did Chuck Berry, it sounded like Chuck Berry. Bo Diddley sounded like Bo Diddley. When I came to Happy Just to Dance With You, which I wanted to do, which George didn't write, but Lennon McCartney wrote it for him, I did it like Clapton did Layla, in an acoustic slow shuffle, and everybody said that was the greatest song. It was a reinterpretation of the Beatles song. They didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
But then when I start to sing, they all sing before this dance is through, I think I'll... And same with this album. When this comes on, you don't know what the song is.
Right.
There's 20, 30 seconds of a groove, and you go, that's really cool, what is it? And the minute I start, you can start singing. So it's great to have a new album out. Everybody knows all the words.
Yeah.
I sent in the lyrics for this album. They said, why are you sending us the lyrics? Everyone in the world knows it. So there's one song in there, Between Two Mountains, and when I wrote, everyone knows everything else.
Is it not terrifying to take
Yeah.
these songs and make them your own? That is a ballsy thing to...
Well, I had it done to me. Junior Walker and the All-Stars did These Eyes.
Yeah.
With the sax and all the chicks singing behind. Lenny Kravitz did American Woman.
That's
Kurt
true.
Elling did an
That's
amazing
true.
version
That's
of
true.
She's Come Undone, jazz kind of thing. And I met all these people and did shows with them. Like, sing to Lenny Kravitz, why didn't you play my guitar line? Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
He said, why would I play your guitar line? I'm a guitar player, I'm playing my own guitar line.
Right.
And I go,
guess.
yeah, duh, I get it. So I kind of did that with the George stuff. And it was a real challenge because you have to get by the Beatle Mafia, who don't want anything to change. Some songs I didn't change. Like, you can't redo My Sweet Lord. It's like rewriting the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
So I took the licks from My Sweet Lord and they're dropped in another song. So when you listen to this, there's George Harrison solos. My first song, Between Two Mountains, instead of a solo, I played da-da-da-da. Well, everyone knows what that is.
Right.
And I love her. And that's the most simple line in the world. McCartney said, it's the greatest guitar line ever written. Right? So it's in the middle of Between Two Mountains.
Steve wants... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm saying there's George Harrison solos are sprinkled throughout here. I also took the liberty of taking some of George Martin's tricks and putting things backwards. So the end of some of these songs, there's headphone, Pink Floyd stuff going through your head, things that are backwards and vocals that are echoed. And ends with a 8mm running and it runs out and you can hear the film flipping and then the next song starts. So we just had fun.
Good.
Now, Steve wants to know how many guitars you have at home.
I don't know. I've answered this question before. People said, how many guitars you have? I'd say, if you know how many you have, you don't have enough.
Right.
There's always some in the mail. You're buying them on the road or eBay. And when you get home, you open all these presents. You're on a 90-day tour. You send these gifts home for yourself. So, but I really have about 400 or 500.
Yeah.
Really?
I sold 385 Gretches to Fred Gretsch which became the Gretsch Museum. They
Wow.
were just on display in Nashville for 2 years.
Jeez. Okay, I believe you.
Well, when I go big or go
That's
home.
true.
There you
No,
go
that's
home.
true. Okay, I want to do a little Throwback Thursday with you as well, because the Rolling Stones have been in the headlines over the past couple of days.
I heard.
Because Keith Richards joked in an interview with the Wall Street Journal that Mick Jagger should get a vasectomy because he needs to stop having kids at 73. Now, Keith has issued an apology, and drummer Charlie Watts recently said he'd be fine with the guys finally calling it quits. So that got me thinking what it's like band life, like how difficult is band life. But you want to talk about the fact that you've had a couple of vasectomies. So let's talk about that instead.
I've had 2.
Two.
Yeah.
Now, did it not take, or did you?
No, I had 6 kids.
Yeah.
Had a vasectomy. Went through a horrific divorce. Got remarried and thought, let's have a baby.
Try this again.
Went and got it reversed.
Yeah.
That's really, getting it done is nothing.
No.
Getting
It's the
reversed
reverse?
is really something.
Okay.
There's no.
Because when they cut your
There's
whatever,
no chance.
should we get medical on this? Is this
You
Dr. Oz?
say that.
When they cut your vaso tube,
Yeah.
guess what? It's like breaking a bow and arrow stringer. It's hard to go bing. And then they want to join it. They've got to go find them and bring them together. When you sew something together, it's a little bit smaller than because it's sprung, right? And so when I first got it done, I felt like I was getting dressed and did my type and my file. You can't stand up straight because this thing's been pulled together. I shouldn't even be talking about
Okay,
it.
let's
You're
just
getting a real
listen to a
exclusive here.
throwback.
Never
Stay
thought we-
tuned for more. Randy Bachman is hanging out with us. This is Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. We'll be right back.
But the first guy...
Nothing yet. Here's something you never forget. You know, you just ain't seen nothing yet.
Still talking about vasectomies over here. This is ETCanada Live. Randy Bachman is joining us. And a question that a lot of people are asking, tour. Do you have any kind of tour plan with this new album by George?
We started last night. We
Yeah.
played a little club in Toronto. It was our premiere because the album drops today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we play around. We go and play Ottawa National Arts Centre. And come back here and play around Toronto, Peterborough, Kitchener. My son and I, who's now in the band, Tal, we were flying
Yeah.
to do Beatle Fest. And Beatle fans are loving this in the middle of March. And then we go start Victoria and march right across. So when I'm playing live, it's like 5 or 6 Guess Who hits, 5 or 6 BTO. I talked Tal into doing his hit She's So High. They went nuts last night when he did that.
my God.
Total surprise. Every chick's cell phone came on. That's a real
Why
girl.
did you have to convince him to do that? Why was
He didn't want to take my real estate on stage. So look, you're playing guitar, you're joining us on this Beatle thing because he's the extra voice and extra guitar,
Yeah.
and he does She's So High. They go nuts. So
a great
it's
song.
the return of my son.
It is by George, by Bachman. Thank you so much
Thank you, man. Thank you, sir.
for hanging out
Thank
with
you.
us. Randy, and as you said, you're going on tour. You can just catch him anywhere. That's the way it goes. He just plays a
check
lot
the
of shows.
website.
He just plays a lot of shows. You'll find him.
Now, before we go, the ACM Award nominations were announced this morning, with Chris Stapleton leading the way with 8. I feel like you probably like Chris Stapleton, yeah? Thomas Rhett, Keith Urban, and Miranda Lambert picked up multiple nominations as well.
Yeah, okay, and we are going to leave you now with 3-time nominee Little Big Town. This is a Single of the Year nominee called Better Man. Have a great day.